Well, it's first thing, it's early on a Sunday morning. I'm out to have a browse around Porthcawl while it's quiet. Look, there's Beatles, my favourite chip shop. Shut at the moment, obviously. It's very windy. I've got a clip-on wireless microphone with one of those fluffy things over the top, so should be blocking out the wind. I've come out mainly to test my my new camera. I've got the Osmo Action 4, which arrived on Friday, and I tried it yesterday with some different settings on it, and it picked up all the wind noise. So I've changed things today by putting a microphone, a wireless mic that I had anyway, with a USB connector that fit on my phone. Excuse me. Well, it also fits on here as well. So I'm just going to take a walk around, get some fresh air, and check out a few other sites. This place was in the news this week. There was one of the children's rides derailed, small children's ride, and depending on what media version you saw, there was either 13 people had minor injuries or it was a bloodbath. But from what I gather, it was a lot of them did have actually minor injuries. When I saw the police cars whizzing past, I thought it was another fight at the pub here, but no, it wasn't. It was a bit more serious than that. Alright, let's take a walk down the promenade here, and we'll end up down there at the pier and the marina. Look, there's a little tent on the beach. Now, I don't know if somebody left it here yesterday, because it probably was busy down here yesterday, or whether somebody slept in the tent last night. If they did, kudos to them. Brilliant. Sleeping in a tent on the beach overnight. Superb. No, I like boats. My problem is, would I actually go out to sea in it? See, I'm down at the marina here in Porthcawl, and I'd love one of these boats, but I think I'd spend a couple of hours on a weekend just messing about with the boat in the harbour, and would probably never take it out. But it'd be nice to have. This crane here, I've never seen this crane in use. You're not allowed on this area when this crane is in use. Obviously it turns round and picks up a boat out there, but I don't know what it would do with it. I mean, I'm assuming it would have to you'd have to open those gates, get a truck in here, and then stick it on the back of a truck. Other than that, what are you going to do with it? Alright, let's cross this little thing. Dear me, that's the loudest seagull I've ever heard in my life. Although I've been told they're not seagulls, they're herring gulls is the correct term for it. Who knows? And who cares? I'm going to go over there past all these little coffee restaurants and take the shortcut that not that many people seem to know about. We had a high tide last winter, and I thought I was safe coming around this little bit, because the waves were crashing up over the wall over there, over the pier, and they were about 50-60 foot in the air. So I took this little shortcut round the corner. I thought, oh, I'll be safe by here. Was I? They came straight over the side. Didn't get too much of a soaking, but I was alright. Shall I go down the pier or not? No, I probably won't bother. It's blowing a gale. I don't know how good this muffler on my wireless mic is working, but can't you yourself think you? What we got there? Old lighthouse by the look of it. They're setting up. I think they're setting up for a park run. It says Triathlon Cymru on that banner thing, but I certainly don't think it's a triathlon today. Oh, and there's a finish line with the checkered flags. Well, hang on, if that's a start and that's a finish line, that's not much of a race, is it? Well, I'm going to go through this finish line now, and then that's me done for the day. Where's my medal? Let's go down there and see Lizzie. See who, I hear you ask? Lizzie, which was an old tree that washed up, driftwood, and then they turned it into like a sculpture on the beach, a lizard. There you go, that's Lizzie. That's just one, that's not been sculpted or altered or anything. That's just one tree that came in with the tide, which looks like a lizard. They put eyes on it and a tongue, obviously, and put a thing around it, a necklace around it, look, with Lizzie on. And it looks like hundreds of people have written their names on there. Moby wasn't there before, I don't know what that's about. Looks like some local graffiti artist tag, who knows. But yeah, they were a bit concerned a while ago that it was going to get blown away, because as far out as the tide is there, it was splashing up here on this stretch of the platform. So it was a worry that this was going to get blown away. Well, behind all that fencing across the road there is the Porthcawl Pavilion, which was a great old building. I mean, it is an old building. I don't know what the date is, but they used to have a lot of acts and performances and all sorts of stuff there, and a pantomime. Every year there'd be a pantomime. Now, I'm not sure if you can see that other building, because the sun is coming from behind it, so I may have cocked up here. That's retirement flats, but the locals call it the bottle bank because of those round slots in the front of it. Well, my last stop this morning is going to be to go and see the mural that's on the wall of somebody's business, of Steve Strange. Some of you might remember the group, the band Visage from the 80s. Well, the lead singer Steve Strange used to live here in Porthcawl. He died a few years ago, but there was a lot of people of that time that came to the funeral in Porthcawl. Boy George, Spandau Ballet, loads of them came to see the funeral. That's a fantastic mural, isn't it? And now the interesting thing is, I saw a car drive through Porthcawl last week. I think it was a little Suzuki, only a small standard car, and the number plate was V15AGE, which spells Visage, which I'm assuming was Steve's at one point and now belongs to one of the family. Let's take a wander down High Street. The local police station, which hardly ever gets used these days. They use it as a base when they come down here in the day. Other than that, it's empty most of the time. Now, this is a shame. Falcone's has been here for years. It was a name synonymous with Porthcawl, with ice cream parlours and coffee shops and stuff. This closed recently as well. They're knocking it down to do what, you may ask? Yeah, you guessed it, they're building more flats. There's going to be 44 flats on this site, which is a shame, because it's, it's always been known as the local place you'd go to in Porthcawl.